a long time coming. We finally did it. Yes, we made it. My first YouTube channel. Join me to celebrate. I'm super excited. Yes, it is my first ever episode on this YouTube channel. Say the F word with Joe. That's what we're about. Support me. I need all the love I can get and encouragement I can get right now. So make sure you like this video. It doesn't cost you anything. Make sure you subscribe to this video. It doesn't cost you anything either. Literally, it's not like Instagram or Twitter where you're counting the amount of followers and in ratio with the amount of following. No, okay, it doesn't cost you a thing to subscribe to this channel. Once again, welcome to Say the F Words with Joe. Let's get this ball rolling. The other day was Workers' Day, and I was asking myself, who exactly is celebrating? Okay, because unemployment rates in Nigeria, we both know, are off the charts. Literally 23.2 million employable Nigerians in the labor market are unemployed. It's crazy. Okay, fam, I'm unemployed. Fam? I'm jobless right now. I'll tell you about that later, but just so that you know that you are not alone, we gather a day, we're in this together. Where am I going with this? It is hard for everyone to get a job in Nigeria. Facts. Even if your father knows somebody that knows somebody, he still has to put in a lot of work, and even after that, it may not work out. But permit me to say that it is harder for the female to get a job in Nigeria purely based on merit. Facts. I know you might come and say, yo, here she, some people might come and say, yo, here she comes with the whole feminist movement. But that's the facts. I am going to show you something. Check this out. Put a finger down if you've been asked inappropriate or intrusive questions during an interview. Put a finger down if you've been asked to meet your interviewer at odd hours or an odd location. Put a finger down if you've been accused of sleeping your way to the top. Put a finger down if you've gotten sexual advances from a superior. Put a finger down if you've been offered less than your male counterpart for doing the same job. Put a finger down if you've been touched inappropriately by a work superior. Put a finger down if you've been used as bait to secure a client. Put a finger down if you've had a colleague make an inappropriate comment about your body. Put a finger down if you've been asked to secure a role with sex. And finally, put a finger down if you've been afraid to speak up because you're scared of being blackballed. Shout out to all the ladies that agreed to be on this. I had just one finger standing after that, and literally I'm just 26. I'm going to 27. I've worked 3 jobs, 2 media jobs, 1 insurance job. Most of my experiences were from my insurance job. My experiences have been crazy. Not only have I been through that, but I've also been scammed.
What? What?
Fake job offer. Yes. I've been through a lot in this my little life, but I guess that's why I have so many stories to tell right here on this channel. So make sure you subscribe to this channel. So yes, I have also been scammed, and trust me, by my own kind. Women will disgrace you. Fresh out of NYSC, all the ginger of yes, let me start making my own bread, let me use the certificates, hungry for a job, legit. And that's what they prey on, right? I wasn't in Lagos at the time. I was hunting for the job online, submitting my CV to all these job agencies, and there was just this day that I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw a sponsored post, a job offer. Yeah, job opening from
Rockefeller International.
Mofo. Rockefeller International. I applied. I sent them a DM. What was the procedure?
They sent me email, sent a DM and everything, and I did all that. I got a response from them, sent my details, phone number, they got back to me.
And I went for this interview at Palm Grove. Rockefeller International, Palm Grove. No diss to mainland people, but Rockefeller International, Palm Grove. I got to the venue, no signboard, outside or inside, no signage at all. I should have known, right? That's a red flag. But I went on because I had a point to prove. I had left, I'd come a long way just for this job. What was I going to tell him? Like, yo, it was fake. No, I had to see this through. So we got into the lobby, which was sort of like the waiting area before they call you upstairs to present your CV and all that. There were like 20-30 of us, and then there was this lady who was representing the company, and she was giving us all this motivational talk about how she had built a house for her mother, how she was building her own house now, how she had made so much money from the business. Meanwhile, if you dress her up head to toe, like, you know for sure this is bend down select Alaba style. It was mixed messages. I couldn't match what she was saying that she had accomplished with the way she presented herself, and I'm sure I wasn't the only one. But then she had literally enforced the rules that, see, no side talks. If you side talk, you're out. And that was basically so that we couldn't pass on doubts to each other. Another warning sign. And then, like, literally people that were asking funny questions were like shouted at and sent out. One by one, they would call us up, present your CV, go. They said they'll get back to us. I think about 2-3 days later, they sent an SMS. You've been shortlisted. Next meeting point, Ajao Estates. I was skeptical and I had a point to prove. I had left comfort to form Miss Independent up and down, and there was no way I was going to say, oh, it was fake. I was staying at my auntie's place. My cousins were a pain in the behind. So I needed to get out of the house. So it was a good excuse to get out of the house. And I was 22, I was also pretty naive. So I'm desperate. So yeah, it was what it was. Apparently somebody that came on bike was even like, the bike man was saying that he doesn't know what they're doing here. Or
Run.
So it did raise some suspicions. I was a little scared, but we kind of found safety in numbers. There was still a good number of us that were still there, maybe like this time around 20, 10. So I don't know. Having kept us waiting for like forever and a day, they called us upstairs, kept us all in a room. The place was the whole building, it was a huge house, but it was more or less deserted. And it was like they just rented or brought in furniture just to stage the interview or the training or whatever they called it. Still no sign of Rockefeller International, bruh, no signage. Then they started playing Brian Tracy tapes for us, all these motivational YouTube videos that you can find. They made us do this affirmation chant, like, oh, I will succeed, all those. We did it because we were job seekers that really needed a job or some form of income. But meanwhile, we didn't have any job description, or we didn't know exactly what we were coming there to do. It was just all motivational talk, attitude to work, on and on and on. They did this for the whole day. They kept us waiting, and they were like, oh, the CEO is coming, she'll soon be with us to address us. She came last minute. It was already dark. You could see she was trying very hard to show that she was expensive. She was better dressed than the lady that entertained us during the first interview. But like, you could see the CEO was trying hard to show you that she had money.
What am I trying to say?
We all each went to see her one by one, and then she was just asking us typical interview questions. Next step, we're gonna start training. You have to drop 15K for the training.
I never expected it.
I did. I dropped 15K for the training because I just needed to get out of the house. I needed to be busy. So I had already like gotten some people involved. Oh, this is what we're doing. I'm going for an interview. We're doing training. So how was I going to go back and explain to them that it was all fake? I went on with it. I dropped the 15K, and the next meeting was at 4 Points by Sheraton. I was beginning to fall for it. I mean, hey, now it was beginning to feel like Rockefeller International, but still no sign of it, still no mention of Rockefeller International from them. So the next meeting, those of us who paid for the training were now asked to come to 4 Point by Sheraton by 6-7 a.m. one morning like that. I went, kept us waiting. They rented a whole conference room. We went upstairs, and literally it was a conference room full of different women, different sizes, different cultures, and they were just coming to make presentations about how they made so much. Like, They never told us what they did. They never gave us a job description. It was just, oh, they've made so much money, the testimonials, this, that, just to draw you in and, oh, you can make so much money too.
Will you keep quiet?
And Mofo, I fell for it. After a whole nother day at 4 Point by Sheraton, full of testimonials and motivational talk, and not knowing exactly what the job description is, they told us to pay 20k for the final stage of training. At this point, I was like, bro, no, I'm not doing that. Then somebody came around to persuade me, okay, how much do I have? So I ended up paying half of that money.
What I'm thinking is, who's going to tell her?
The final stage of training was back to Palm Grove. And this was the breaking point for me. This is when I realized what was really going on, at least a bit of it. I went for that training at Palm Grove, and a lot of people were losing patience. Less people were showing up for the next level of training. So this day, after the whole motivational talk again, they started to teach us how to put up fake job offers to get other people on board.
Wool up.
So it was basically, they had to keep the cycle going, right? Somebody brought you in, so you have to bring other people in by putting out another fake job advert. I took my leave and I left. That was it for me. I was done. I literally walked out. Somebody tried to come after me, then someone else was saying, no, leave her. I was done. But I had already made contact with one of the other girls that I came on with for the interviews and all the trainings, and I did keep in touch with her even when I got another job, a legitimate job. I later found out, because she stayed longer than I did, that it was Forever Living products, the distribution. That was what it was. Be a distributor for Forever Living. That was it. So much for Rockefeller International. That was my fake job offer story. There are so many of these stories out there that people may not be comfortable coming out to share because it's them admitting to being naive. Some people don't get around to telling these stories like I have done to you today. And some people, sadly, don't live to tell these stories. That was the case of Iniyeong Umoren. Her story was told on the streets of Twitter, and this is what happened. Sadly, her good friend later revealed that Iniubong had been allegedly raped and killed by her abductors in the Akwa Ibom state capital, Uyo.
She came all the way through the town into the villages, different villages, through the different untapped roads, to this Noinkonobio, and to this building. And the fact that she's so driven, not just to do very well, perform very well in school, but actually to get a job and sustain herself. And she then decided to go beyond this point into this building. A person that was an orphan at the age of 2 to earn a living because she had actually sent and paid her way through high school, secondary school, and the university, and was now awaiting to go for her youth service, a thing of pride, now had to find her way all the way through this village to this building and to meet someone that actually ended her life and then buried her in a shallow grave in these premises. It's sad, and it's never the victim's fault. It's never, under any circumstances, the victim's fault. We'll come out and we'll have these conversations on our platforms, on social media, on the radio, on the television, but it doesn't stop these monsters, some of these monsters, from being monsters. We have no control on some of these people. What we do have control over is our strategy, knowing what we want and being strategic about it. How not to get a job. There is such a thing as how not to get a job, how not to look for a job. HR expert Ifeanyi and Adigbogu
did share a piece on how to tell a fake job offer. I definitely wish I had read that piece when I was 22 and desperate for a job. And I hope that you find it helpful. I'll definitely drop a link in the description box. But to everybody out there trying to make a legitimate source of income, I salute you.